Yeah, if on the live stream tab should just have it. Okay, everyone. So thank you, all those on Zoom. Thank you for waiting, and those who are joining us back on YouTube. So sorry for the trouble. There was just some technical issues with the internet. I believe I have resolved it, and we shouldn't be having any problems. So I'm just going to wait for a few minutes to let our friends who had to leave the YouTube live stream for them to come back, and then we can start soon. So just give them a minute or two, because right now on YouTube we have 35 people. We had like a lot more just now. So I'm just going to give it a few minutes for them to just join back in, and then we'll start. All right. Okay, so I'll just be beginning the presentation first, because I think I've kept you guys waiting long enough, and I do apologize for the technical problem that we had. I when we tested it, it was fine, but I guess these are the kind of unexpected things when you're streaming, I guess. So don't worry if you are joining late, or if any of your friends couldn't join us. We will upload this recording to our YouTube channel, and we'll also share you like a recording through email after this. So if any of your friends here are not able to join, that's perfectly fine, and we'll just be proceeding soon. Okay, so number one, let's begin. So we'll just do our pre-arrival briefing first. So we're gonna cover a few topics today. First is your pre-arrival portion. So for the pre-arrival portion is, let me just start with introduction to and University Malaya in general. So just in case. All right. So is in Malaysia. Malaysia is a country with 13 states and 3 federal territories, and all of you will be coming from around the world to this place here, which is Kuala Lumpur. And at the heart of Kuala Lumpur is University Malaya. Now that's actually a picture of our front entrance. So yeah, all of you are coming from around the world, and we thank you for choosing as your destination choice for your exchange program. So, Malaysia at a glance. Generally, what you need to know about Malaysia is it's quite diverse when it comes to the population. We have a large group of Malays, Chinese, and Indians, and also the many indigenous communities here in Malaysia. We have some of the Peranakan, the Kadazan, the Iban. So, Malaysia is about 67 to 70% of Bumiputra, which consists of the Malays and the other Aboriginal communities, and also a lot of Chinese and Indian people. And we are recently, in past several years, we've having an influx of people from other uh, backgrounds and ethnicities as well. So about Malaysia, we use the Ringgit Malaysia, or Malaysian Ringgit currency. We do deal in cash, but I would be honest with you, nowadays a lot of stores, they do cash, but they also do digital currency. So what do I mean by digital currency? Let me just put out my pointer. So digital currency, the most popular ones are e-wallets and using your bank cards. So when you're coming to Malaysia, what I would recommend is do have some cash on you, but you don't need to have too much on. You don't need to have 500 ringgit. No, maybe that's too much. Maybe 2 to 300 ringgit in cash is fine, and you can use your e-wallets or bank cards whenever it's available and convenient for you. So we use a lot of places use Visa and Mastercard and also Union Pay. And as for e-wallets, what these are they basically applications on your phone which acts as a wallet. You can load in some amount of money in there and you can use it to make payments. So the common ones in Malaysia is, I would say, touch and go e-wallet. It's quite convenient because when you're using it for your public transportation travels, this is the one that would be really helpful. So the weather in Malaysia generally is quite tropical. We have a lot of sun, we have a lot of rain. Especially in the past week or so, we are having a little more rain, and that is looking like the climate for the next few months. So when you're coming or when you're already here, I would recommend getting an umbrella and also some sunblock because some days can be very, very hot. Even though it can be really hot at 12 p.m., but then at 3 p.m., it's a very heavy rain. So you should have the necessities to make sure you are safe in all weathers. The transportation here, I would say, especially in Unicity Malaya, we have a lot of options for public transportations. The Rapid KL company, they have MRTs, they have public buses, they have LRTs, and a few others. Another popular option for students is using e-hailing services like a Grab car. If you're not familiar with e-hailing, it's like an Uber or anything like that. So you use your phone, you just select your location, someone will come get you and send you off. It's like a private taxi. If you've not used that before, the Grab car is very prominent here. I think it's currently the only major e-hailing service available. So we have all those available readily in Kuala Lumpur, especially in UM, where a lot of people are moving in and out. Next would be the most interesting one would be the delicacies or the foods. So basically, in Malaysia, as I mentioned, there's a lot of different people from different backgrounds and ethnicities, and with that comes the different types of food. One of the most popular things that students like to do when they are in Malaysia is to go around and trying different foods. So I hope that yes, you're coming here to study, of course, but don't forget that you are also being given the opportunity to travel this beautiful country and to understand about our cultures. And the best way to understand our cultures is through the foods that we have. Even certain foods, like for example, the nasi lemak, they can have different variations, even depending on different states or different cities. Some people would make the sambal, this red chili paste here. Some would make it spicier, some would make it sweeter. So you can actually explore and experiment to find the one that you actually prefer or like. So the dress code. So this is quite important. Before you guys come here, make sure you pack appropriate clothing. Like I mentioned, Malaysia is quite tropical. We are hot and then sometimes a lot of rain. So make sure you have clothing that are comfortable for this type of weather. But do remember that Malaysia is quite modest when we come to our dressing. So when you're going to classes, for example, you might be wondering what to wear. So this is an example of what you can wear to class. You can just wear a shirt or a button-down shirt or a collared t-shirt, wear some pants or jeans and covered shoes to go to your classes. Do avoid wearing shorts, short skirts, tank tops, and anything inappropriate or revealing. So make sure your attire is modest when you are going to classes, when you're coming to visit us at the office or anything. There is a dress code in and we are quite adherent to it. So, but for example, if you're just going to the mall, then yeah, feel free to just wear anything you're comfortable with, as long as it's not overly revealing. Again, Malaysia as a community itself is quite modest, so try to dress appropriately. You should also bring formal attire, a suit, some pants, a blazer or a coat, or anything else you would wear for formal attires, because you might have presentations, some formal events that you are invited to. So it'll be good to always have the option of formal clothing. If possible, also have some traditional clothing. We do have a lot of events that would have a traditional attire as the dress code. So if you have some traditional clothing, do bring them along. It'll be really great to see people wearing their traditional clothes and showing off their different cultures through our events. So next would be what you should do as you are preparing to come here. The first thing that you guys will be doing is when you apply for your visa is you will get the e-visa approval letter. You get this when your EMGS is at 70%. I believe the majority of you have got this e-visa approval letter. Then is the single entry visa. The single, I will come into more details later. And after that, after you get these, that's when you buy the flight ticket. We do have the pre-arrival pickup service, but then it has been closed. So because we need to make the arrangement for the buses. So this form is actually closed. I made these slides a few weeks ago. So please ignore this one. So when entering Malaysia, make sure if you haven't purchased your ticket already, or if you've already purchased them, make sure that they are landing in Kuala Lumpur International Airport or Kuala Lumpur International Airport Terminal 2. So sometimes they'll say KLIA or they'll say KLIA Terminal 1, or they'll say KLIA Terminal 2, or sometimes they'll say KLIA 2. So as long as it's Kuala Lumpur International Airport at the front, you're fine. Whether it's 1 or 2, it's not much of a difference because they are actually very nearby to each other. It's important that you do this because this is where you can get a specific stamp that you need. So individuals must have the following documents. You need to bring your passport and make sure it has the valid period of, they have a correct time of validity. So we've already checked your passports before you get your offer letter. So if you are already at the stage of getting your visa and coming here, your passport should be fine. Do have a copy of your offer letter and your visa approval letter and other relevant paperwork. So if you are coming from a country that has single entry visas, so make sure you have your e-visa printed out. And from students coming from non-single entry visa required countries, then you will receive something called a visa on arrival. I'll come to that later. Make sure you check that you get the special pass, which is for 30 days. And lastly, you need to complete the MDEC. So I know I just listed down a few things here, so let me come into detail for you. Number one, if you are coming from an SEV required country, a single entry visa required country, this is for majority of students. You will get two things. You need to get the special pass at the airport, and number two, you will receive a journey performed on your single entry visa. If you're coming from a non-single entry visa required country, same thing, you'll get a special pass, but your second one is going to be a visa on arrival. It's slightly different. So let me just specify here. Visa on arrival is specifically given if you're coming from certain countries like UK or Australia. So you guys, you notice if you don't need to get a single entry visa. So you will get a visa on arrival when you have arrived here in Malaysia. Sometimes due to the queue and some regulation changes at KLIA, they may not provide you with the visa on arrival. So you can ask the officer, sir, I didn't get the stamp, do I need it or not? If they say no, then that's fine. You don't have to argue with them, don't have to fight them for it. We just move on. The single entry visa, this one you must have this before coming. This is for students coming from countries basically if your country is not the Australia or the UK, check with your embassies if you require this. The most common ones that are not requiring for single entry visa is Australia and UK. So countries like Japan, China, India, South Korea, Russia, all these countries, they actually need single entry visa. So you might be confused. What is single entry visa and what is e-visa? Your student visa application right now is sitting at 70%. So you will have to come to Malaysia to complete the remaining 30%. To do that, you need to get something called a single entry visa. Single entry means you can only come in one time, which is why you get a special pass. That you use that special pass to complete the remaining 30%. After that, they will give you your student visa. So the single entry visa, they can come in different forms. Some countries, they will actually give you a stamp, like in Qatar. And then some countries, they will actually print it out, like in Bangladesh. It will be printed on the passport. But majority of the countries, they are opted to use the e-visa. So you just have to get the document, you print it out, you just have to submit the application on their website. They will give you the PDF. You just print this and bring along with you. But either way, you must have the single entry visa in any shape or form before coming to Malaysia. Next is the special pass. I need everyone to pay special attention to this one because the special pass is the most important one that a lot of students make mistakes on. So the special pass will look like this. This square stamp here, it'll write SP or it'll write special. So the way that you know is basically what it says. SP is just short for special pass in case you're confused there. And it will have two dates here. So the first date, the green one, is your entry date to Malaysia. So for example, if you're coming next week on the 26th of February, so they will put here 26th February. And then the bottom here, it should be 1 month after you arrive, which is 30 days. So if you come 26 February, it should be maybe 26 March. Sometimes because some months got 30 days and February has 28 days, it might be a bit more. As long as it's more or less 30 days, it's fine. If you accidentally receive a special pass with the expiry, which is 2 months, with 60 days or 90 days, then it is actually for a different purpose. You have to tell the immigration officer, sir, I am a student. You give them your student offer letter and tell them you are required to get the special pass for 30 days. So make sure you get the special pass and make sure you check the date. The date is the most important thing because what happens is, as I mentioned, you come to Malaysia to complete the remaining 30% of your visa process. That visa process has to be completed within the 30 days that they are given. So if you get more than 30 days, it's actually not valid. It's actually against the regulation and EMGS cannot proceed with that. So please make sure when you receive the stamp, you check the stamp they give you. Make sure it's special pass because some students, they get visit pass. Visit pass is a tourist visa. You don't want that one. You need a special pass so that they can convert it to your student pass. So make sure it's special and make sure that the date is plus minus 30 days from the top one. So if you're coming in on 26th February, so your special pass should end on the 27th or 28th of March. All right, make sure you do that. If you're not sure, please take a picture and send a message to your student buddy. They can help check it for you just to make sure that you have it. If you accidentally left the airport with the wrong stamp, then we actually have to bring you back to the airport and we have to make an appeal for them to change the special pass, which is a lot of trouble. And we want to save you the trouble of going all the way back to the airport to change it. So please make sure to pay attention to this one. Another thing is, some students who came in the previous semester, they didn't get the special pass or any other pass because they went through the AutoGate. Recently, Malaysia has updated its regulations where a lot of countries in Southeast Asia and even China and India, they are sometimes allowed to go through the AutoGate where you put your passport inside the machine, it'll scan your face, then you walk through. As a student, you need to get this special pass stamp so that we can proceed. So I advise you strongly to not go to the AutoGate. Please go through a regular immigration counter. And if they ask you to go to the AutoGate, you tell them, oh, sir, I'm a student. I must go here to get my stamp. So I would like to remind you again, please avoid using the AutoGate. Go through the normal immigration counter as all other students coming in. Lastly is the Malaysia Digital Arrival Card, MDAC. So you basically can go to his website and fill out your information. This is required for everyone coming to Malaysia, whether you're a student or not. So you can do this when you are 3 days before traveling. So for example, if you're coming on the 26th of February, you can fill it out starting 24. 24, 25, 26, that's 3 days. You cannot, even if you try to do on the 23rd, it doesn't work. So when you put the date of arrival is the day you are coming. Date of departure, they're actually asking when are you expected to leave Malaysia. Most of you are going to leave after 28 July, which is when your exams will finish. So you can put 28 July as the departure date. But it's okay if your departure date is later or later than 28 or earlier than 28. It's not very strict. They just want an estimated time of when you are leaving. Next is the airport pickup meeting point. For those of you who have signed up for the airport pickup, thank you for doing that. We will, I believe you will be receiving a confirmation email if you have not already. Our student buddies will send it out to you. So if you're coming to KLIA Terminal 1, you have to wait at Gloria Jean's Coffee. And if you're coming to KLIA Terminal 2, just wait at the Old Town White Coffee. Our buddies will be there to find you and guide you to the bus. Those who are taking the airport pickup, the bus will come all the way to UM. And if you're staying in one of the dormitories, we will drop you at the dormitory. If you're staying off campus, then our bus will drop you at UM Central, which is the central bus stop in UM. From there, you can actually use a Grab car or get a taxi to go to wherever you are staying. So next is to complete your post-arrival medical screening. This comes to when you're already here. So like I mentioned, you are at 70%. You come to Malaysia to do the remaining 30% of your process. The first step of that is to do your medical screening. When you are doing a medical screening, you come to Malaysia, you can go to any of the clinics under EMGS. You can just go, search on Google EMGS clinic, and it will be there the first result for you to see. So you can choose which clinic is nearest. You can walk in. You do not need to make appointment, and you do not need to make payment. When you have paid for the visa application, part of the payment is for your medical checkup. So you don't need to make any payments for this one. You bring your passport, you go there and you tell them, I'm a student and I want to do my medical screening. Of course, we have to go during the operating hours. Make sure you do that. So after you do the medical screening, you come to the International Student and Mobility Center office, and we will guide you what to do further. Important thing to remember is, before you do the medical screening, if for example, you're arriving on the 26th of February, please don't take any medications 3 to 4 days before that. So don't take any paracetamol or any Ponstan or any other traditional medication, because sometimes when you take medicine, it will actually affect the result of your medical test. And if you fail the medical test, then you cannot actually proceed with your visa. You actually have to go back home. The only exception is if you are receiving a prescription from a doctor. Maybe you have some illness, you have to take the medication, then it's okay. But you do need to bring a letter from the doctor. If, for example, you said, oh, sir, I wasn't feeling well, so I took some medication, but now I'm better, then okay. So if you have taken any medicine, wait at least 4 days before you go do your medical checkup. If sometimes when you take the medicine, maybe you're just having the flu or something, it's okay. So you just wait 3 to 4 days and then you do your medical checkup after that. It is safer to wait a few days and do your medical checkup instead of you do it very quickly and then you fail your medical checkup. So make sure that if you are taken any medication, then wait a few days. If you are able to, don't take any pills or medication before you do the medical screening. If you have, maybe you arrive here and then you went out to get some drinks, if you're taken any alcohol, please make sure you drink plenty of water and get enough sleep before your medical screening. And also, lastly, if girls, I know some of you may have your period at the time, then it's okay. Just wait until after it's over, then you can go. It is not mandatory to do it within 7 days, but it is recommended because a lot of students, they will actually delay the process. So if you are able to, do your medical checkup as soon as possible. So remember, no medications. If you are coming to Malaysia and you want to bring any medication, make sure it has prescription. You can actually buy a lot of medication here at some pharmacy, so you don't have to bring them. But if it's a special medication that you require, maybe you have certain medical problem that requires special medicine, of course, please bring them. It is safe for you to bring them, and make sure you have a letter from your doctor stating that it is prescribed to you. Last thing I need to mention is, if you are coming from a country where marijuana is legal, where you want to take cannabis medication, cannabis oil, if it is legal in your country, that's fine. It is not legal in Malaysia. So we have had certain students who had taken this medication slash drug, and when they do the medical screening, it actually shows up there and they cannot proceed with the student visa because of this problem. If you have taken this drug slash medicine, please make sure you wait the appropriate number of days before you do the medical test. And if you're already currently doing now, please stop doing until you come to Malaysia and you do the medical test. I understand that it could be legal in your country, but currently in Malaysia, it is not allowed. So if you are doing marijuana or cannabis, then if you are consuming marijuana or cannabis products, you need to stop, let it out of your system, and then you can do your medical test first. Okay? So just to recap, when you arrive here, check into your accommodations. After that, you do your medical screening. After the medical screening, you can come to ISC's office to collect your document, and we will brief you what to do next, where to go. You wait till your visa is 80%, so you can look on your EMGS app. After you have done the medical checkup, you'll actually, from 70, it will change to 80. Then you can go and submit your passport and for the processing at our visa unit. After you submit the passport to the visa unit, then you just have to wait, relax for a few weeks, and then you can collect your passport back there again. After you collect your passport, you wait 2 weeks, you can collect a few more items, which is your iCard and also your insurance card. So now that we have covered the visa aspect, now let's go to the academic aspect. Our semester starts on the 17th of March. So students, you will actually be starting, as we have informed in the email, we will start registering for your courses next Monday on 24th of February. And we will open the registration until the 23rd of March. So you have 1 month. And for those who are already here in Malaysia, we are having the Week of Welcoming, which is the orientation week from 3rd of March until the 7th of March, which is in 2 weeks. And then 17th of March onwards, your classes will start. So now let me walk you through the process of registering for your classes. First thing you need to do is accept offer letter. A lot of you didn't accept your offer letter even though we tell you to do it. So after this, I will open in the system for you to go and accept your offer letter. If you don't do this, you cannot actually register for your classes. So if you actually cannot register for your classes, make sure you check properly again. Even you have done so, please after this, you open Maya portal and you check if you already pressed the offer letter acceptance. If you haven't do it, please pay attention. You go to Maya, you click on admission. After admission, you have to click on accept offer letter. So normally if you haven't accept, you'll say decision, full offer. Response, it's nothing there. So after you accept offer letter, it will say accept. So if you have already done so, please make sure that your screen shows like this. It's accept. Next is registering your Siswa mail. So when you want to register for your student account, you have to accept your offer letter. When you are doing the acceptance of offer letter, the last step is actually to create your Siswa mail. Just continue, don't quit halfway because that creates some problem in generating the account. So to create your Siswa mail, you can go to siswa.um.edu.my, you click on registration, you put in your student ID and your passport number. Your student ID, or we call it metric number, is on your offer letter. If you don't know what's your offer letter, then you can ask your coordinator from your home university what is offer letter and where to see it. Okay? So you just have to click the button, click accept, and then they will ask you to put alternate email address. Please put your personal email address that they can contact. So in case any problem, like they want to change the password, it will send to your personal email so that you can help reset the password. You will receive a screen like this. Make sure to take a picture, print it, keep it in your bag, send it on WhatsApp to your mom. Make sure that there is a copy somewhere in case you forget your password. The default password here is a very funny password. So in case you forget, make sure you have a copy. You can actually change this later as well. I will show that to you. Next is activating your Maya portal. So actually, after you have created your Siswa mail, now you must log in to Maya using your Siswa Mail ID. So when you come to the Maya portal, use your Siswa Mail, which is your student email. The XXX here is your student ID number at siswa.um.edu.my, and you use the password that was given to you here. So you use this ID to log into your Maya portal so that it will connect your email and your student portal together. Okay. Next is viewing the timetable, which you guys need to do for checking your classes. So from the Maya portal, once you log in, you can actually click on timetable and then you press timetable search. It will bring you to our timetable portal. So you click on students, click this green button, sign in with SSO. So when you want to sign in with SSO, you will get a certain page where you have to sign in there. You need to use this domain here. Let me show you. Yeah, so using our timetable portal here, you must use your 365 account. So to use a 365 account, you put your student ID at Siswa 365. You just add the 365 at the back here, .um.edu.my. So when you want to use the timetable portal, it's actually you have to put in this one. So make sure you do that one, and then you should be able to access your timetable. Right? Let's come back here. Okay, so that is your timetable. So when you log in, you press timetable search, and then you can actually search the module code. If you don't know where to see the module code, I've given you the link to our website here. All the courses on our website here are available for mobility students. So after you search, the result appear on the left. You can actually add it on the right side and you press show schedule. So it will actually have a lot. This is a bit confusing to you, I understand. So for example, when you search CIA 1004, it's actually got Monday, Wednesday, and then Friday. The reason there is a lot of timetable is because they have a lot of lecture group. So if you are checking for the timetable, make sure when you click on it, they show the module offering got M. M is for mobility students, which are exchange students. So sometimes there will be 1M, 2M, 3, there's no 3M. That means you cannot join lecture group 3. So if your timetable does not have M for any of the courses, you can send email to us at studyabroad@um.edu.my. We will check for you because sometimes the faculty didn't update the timetable. So if you know it, then you can let us know so that we can contact the faculty. But for a lot of the courses, they will have one of the timetable that have the M occurrence. So you can only join classes that have the M occurrence. And they'll also say what is the capacity there. You can check it out. So all classes, they are not unlimited space. There is a limited capacity there. So you have to quickly register for which class you want. So I would recommend you plan your schedule earlier on and also have a few backup classes. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. I'll come back to that. Next is your Spectrum. Spectrum is your student portal. So all of your class, your assignments, everything is be submitted and displayed on Spectrum. For Spectrum, you just go to spectrum.um.edu.my. You press login. So sometimes Spectrum, because they are testing out some features, it will show you the UMCAS page. In this case, you only put your ID and password. Don't have to put at siswa.um.edu.my. So, sorry. So sometimes Spectrum will show you this page, but sometimes Spectrum will show you the Microsoft 365 page. So depending on which page it shows you, you have to log in differently. I will show you the table again to summarize, but after you log into Spectrum, you update your information here and you can go to the home page. So on Spectrum, you'll be able to see the class details, the assignments, any notice from your lecturer. Everything is communicated through Spectrum. So yeah, here you can see the list of classes that you have registered for. And then once you click on the class, you can actually see. So these are the lecture notes, video, assignment, submission. So all of the assignments and lecture notes are all on Spectrum. So you need to be able to access Spectrum. If you cannot access Spectrum, please let us know. Next is the most important thing that you are here for today is the module registration. We in we all our courses we refer to it as module. So let me show you how to add or drop the module. So you go to Maya, you log in with your Siswa mail ID and password. You click on enrollment, you click module registration. It will open on 24th of February, 12 p.m. Malaysian time. So if you go there now, of course, this button isn't there. Please don't email me today and say, oh, sir, I can't press the enroll button. Wait until Monday, 12 p.m. It will open Monday, 12 p.m. If you go now, it's not there. Okay? So you enrollment, module registration, you click on enroll. Once you click on enroll after 12 p.m. on Monday, it will show you this screen. So the module registration has few steps. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, Step 4. Step 1 is profile details. Profile details is actually, you just have to key in your personal details here. And after you have done that, so you just put in the relevant option. So just follow the guide here completely. Don't worry about anything. Just fill it in. So this one, a lot of students might be confused. Or you say you don't have a local bank account. How do I put bank details? Just follow this. Put CIMB Bank Berhad. The account number put 00000 and then put your name. If you don't have bank account, just do this. If you have bank account, put in your bank account information. Do whichever is correct for you. After that, you press, after you proceed, you exit. Then vaccination details, just put in vaccinated or not. Just put a phone number here, your phone number. It's fine, they won't check it. So your address, this is your mailing address. If you want to change it, you can edit and change it. And then after that, your next of kin is your parents or grandparents or anyone who is your guardian. In case of emergencies, we need to know who to contact. We have had some students who met in accidents, who are injured, so we need to contact your guardian. So please put their information there. Next is just you click the tick button, verify profile details. Step 1 complete. Next is step 2, which is registering your module or selecting your module. So when you go to step 2, you press register module. It will actually show you this screen here. So what you can see here is on the left side, you can search for the module. After you search the module, it will show up here on the left side. And after you add them, you select, it will show up here. So imagine like you are on the shopping website. This is where you search for the item, and this is the shopping cart. So when you search, so over here, when you type in the module, it'll actually show you the result over here. So you can actually press add selection, and then it will come out on the right side. Then you just can proceed verify selection. So you basically search for the class. Sometimes they will have different lecture groups. So you can actually click on them. It will show more information. Then you can select which lecture group you want. Certain classes, they even have a lot of groups for mobility students. For example, classes from the Faculty of Language, where they have proficiency in English level 1. They actually have a few groups. So you can actually select which group you want depending on what day you want to go for the class. So you select the class on the left side, it will show up down here. So you select the group that you want, it will show up on the right. So you add selection and then you verify. So you search here, it comes out here. So it will show you the details, the occurrence. So if you want to see the details, actually you can press the plus button, it will actually show you here. So if it says the occurrence must have the M. If there's no M, the system won't allow you. Don't come and ask me, oh sir, I want to join this class, there's no M. Cannot. Okay? So you must select the class that has M group here. You press add and then it will come out on the right side here. After you have done that, then you can actually edit it if you want, right? So if you press the dustbin, it's removing. It's same like your shopping cart. Once you add the item, if you don't want, you can remove it, right? So after you have selected the classes, maybe, okay, you say, I want to do these classes. Then you can actually press add selection, and then you go to the next screen. You press verify selection, okay? After you've done the verify selection, then you can actually go to the next screen. You just press OK, it will load. And then finally, you must submit selection. And then you complete module, you complete register module. So this is you have selected the classes, but this is not the whole process because our system requires students to pay fees before they can activate their status. But for mobility students, we change the system a bit. You don't actually have to pay your fees. So when you go to the next step, generate pre-invoice. For mobility students, it will actually be zero. So you don't have to make any payment. You just generate the invoice, it will show you zero. Step 4 is activate enrollment status. So you activate enrollment status, you tick the box, continue. And then you press OK, your status is active. It will show here your status as active student. Now, some of you, maybe you're not too sure about a certain class. Maybe you want to go for one session first. If you want to do that, what you do is, you don't complete all of the steps first. You go to the class for the first week, and then if you want to change, you can change. After you have submitted until step 4 finish. If you have finished step 4 and it shows your status active student, you cannot change your classes anymore after that. You cannot do it yourself. Okay, so make sure you are very sure, you confirm want to take these classes, then you press you activate your status. If you are not sure, maybe you are looking for a different class, maybe your university didn't approve the class yet, don't worry, you have until 23rd March to activate your status. So the deadline to complete step 4 is 23rd of March. So you can actually check and see, maybe get the approval, and then 23rd of March, before that, you must submit. What happens if you didn't submit and activate your status by 23rd of March? You send email to your home university. I will send email to your home university and say that you didn't register and activate your status. If you didn't activate your status, means you are not interested in continuing the program, so you can actually go home. So make sure if you don't complete the registration before 23rd March, then you are going home. Make sure you remember that. I don't want to entertain people who say, oh, sir, I forgot. Oh, I didn't check. No. Make sure when you go to the module registration, it says active student. If you're not sure, come to my office and see me. I will help you myself. Okay? So make sure that you cover the 4 steps as shown here. You step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Some students, they think that after they have added the selection, after they complete register module, they think it's done. No, this is 2.4. You need to go until step 3 and step 4. I know I'm repeating myself, but you will not believe how many students actually forget this. So please remember, you must complete your module registration before the end of 23rd of March, right? So must have active student. All right. So after you're actually done, you can actually click on view enrollment details, which will actually be, you can print a document to show what classes you are registered in. Some of your universities, they need the proof that you have registered for the classes. So you should be able to view enrollment details and download. If you don't have this feature or this function, that means you did not complete your activation. So please activate your status. Okay. So next is a few things you should know. In some classes are hybrid, which is now a good time to tell you. So for the first few weeks of our semester, starting 17th of March until 26th of March, we will have classes online for a lot of the faculties. It depends on your specific course you're taking. So the classes may or may not be online. If the classes are online, they will be conducted through several methods. Right? Normally they are Zoom, Google Meet, or Microsoft Teams. You can actually check on Spectrum. Your lecturer will update you if it's an online class. They will give you the link how to join the class. Communication with the lecturer is also through Spectrum, or sometimes a group will have a WhatsApp link here. The lecturer will share with WhatsApp. In Malaysia, WhatsApp is the most popular messaging app. So if possible, please download WhatsApp on your phone. Attendance for your class is mandatory. If you don't attend class, minimum 80% attendance, your lecturer can actually write a report and you cannot sit for your final exam. And if I receive the report, I will have to forward it to your home university. A lot of students, they don't care about attendance. This semester, I have a student who didn't attend their classes at all. So what happened is the faculty write a report and the student not allowed to sit for the exam. So then the student is asking me to help him or saying that he has to sit for the exam. But unfortunately, I cannot do anything. The attendance is important. Some lecturers, they are a bit more relaxed. Some lecturers a bit more strict. But you are here to join the classes. So please attend your classes. If you cannot attend the class, if you are sick or anything happens, please email your lecturer. At least give them the notice that you are not able. But if you are in class, there will be attendance taken through several methods. The most classic is they will ask you to sign on paper, or they will have the attendance, they have to sign there, or you have to scan a QR code on Spectrum, or you have to press this attendance button on Spectrum, or they will have a Google form. So it depends on how your lecturer wants to do the attendance. Some lecturers, they try different methods to make sure students don't cheat. Assessment. Most of your classes are 60% exam, 40% continuous assessment. So what do you mean by continuous assessment is you have assignment, you have presentation, you have group projects, maybe you have a quiz, you have to do some performance or an essay. Some classes have short videos. So what you have to do is every week attend the class. Your lecturer will actually give you time to do your assignments or your presentations, and that is actually the marks for your exam, for your final grade. So you cannot just keep your classes the whole semester and then come for the final exam. You are missing 40% of the marks there. So make sure to submit all of this on time. And where to submit this? On Spectrum. Next is Microsoft 365 features. So when you create Siswa Mail account, you actually have access to Microsoft 365. All students have this access to the Microsoft Office 365. You just log into Microsoft Office Online and use your Siswa Mail ID, which is your metric number, at Siswa 365. So it's actually Siswa 365 because we are using Microsoft's features. So you can actually access the library as well. You just put in your information. You can log into the library to look up books. All students can also have a free access to Turnitin. Turnitin is a plagiarism checker. So sometimes when you submit assignments, to make sure you didn't copy someone, to make sure you didn't use ChatGPT or DeepSeek or Grok or any other AI tool, your lecturer can ask you to submit it through a certain portal like Turnitin so that it can check that you didn't copy or plagiarize your work. Next is the Touch mobile app. This is just an app. Sometimes you need it for attendance. Sometimes when you want to go to certain facilities like our gym, you actually have to scan there so that they can have a record of who is coming in and out. So let me give you a recap because you have a lot of portals and websites you need to visit. So when you applied Maya earlier, you use your email and your password. But now that you have your Siswa Mail, you don't need to use your email, your personal email and password anymore. So when you go to Maya, use your Siswa Mail ID, which is your metric number, at siswa.um.edu.my. If you're logging into your Siswa Mail, you just use your ID at siswa.um.edu.my. The password is the one that you get earlier. Spectrum, which is the learning portal I told you about. If it asks you, then if it's UMCAS, you use different. But nowadays, Spectrum uses this one. You must use at siswa365.um.edu.my. So it's the same. It's Siswa or Siswa 365. For Spectrum and your Office 365 account. So when you want to log into Microsoft Office, it's also 365. So for these two, you must use Microsoft 365 one, which is Siswa 365. Lastly is the UMCAS portal. Certain websites still use this. For example, when you want to pay your fees or you want to log in for your Wi-Fi, your student Wi-Fi, which is free as well, is you must use the CAS portal, which you don't need to put the siswa.um.edu. You just put your metric number and your password. Okay, so I will send this slide to you. Maybe you can screenshot this one to make it easier to see. If you need help or advice, you can actually go to our Telegram group that we have here, or you can send us an email and we'll assist you. I will send the link to the Telegram group in the chat on Zoom. And if you're on YouTube, just read the email, I guess. So basically, that covers our presentation for today. I hope that you guys could follow along. And after that, yeah, so if you have any questions, send us an email. That is all for this presentation. Okay, thank you for staying with us. So I know that we have covered this, but we have one more presentation from my colleague. His name is Shivan. He is from Global Buddies. So he will be sharing some information with you. Just give me 1 minute to set it up.
All right. Hi, everyone. So I hope everyone is well. So my name is Shavandev Singh, and I am part of one of the clubs that you will be seeing a lot. So this club is called Global Buddies, or more known as UMGB. So I am actually the president of this club for the upcoming semester. So if you notice before this, I have been replying all of the questions in the comment section. So keep them coming. So my colleague, Mr. Sanjeev, will be replying them as I speak. So I'm going to be introducing what is Global Buddies all about and some of the activities that we have for you throughout the semester. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. So I'll just skip this. So the introduction to Global Buddies. So what is UMGB? So we are actually an organization that will provide you, the mobility students, hospitality and helping you adapt to the Malaysian lifestyle by engaging with local communities. So before this, you might have heard of the ISC office a lot, which is the International Students and Mobility Center. So basically, what we do is they are minions lah in a way. What we do is we work for them and we help to assist you guys because there's too many of you and too little people working in the ISC office. So we will answer any of your questions and we also will be your peer instead of someone working in UM. So you can consider us as your friends, and all of you actually already got a student buddy. If you haven't noticed, we have emailed you your student buddy details. So please do contact your student buddy if you have any issues at all, and please join the WhatsApp group because it is easier for us to answer questions and connect with you. All right, so throughout the upcoming semester, we actually do have a lot of activities that you can join as part of being a mobility student in University Malaya. So we have a few clubs and societies. So I'm going to introduce to you some of the activities we've had last semester and most probably will be having next semester as well. So our first club is actually called Yamcha. So what is Yamcha is? Yamcha is a club dedicated to fostering a sense of community among the mobility students. So it's actually like a very chill club. You know, you get to relax, you get to hang out, learn about cultures, and do outdoor activities. So if you're interested in this, then here are some of the activities we had this last semester. So some of the activities include a cooking class. We actually had a few sessions of this where we learn local cuisine and also international cuisine from your countries. And then we have a Pasar Seni tour. So Pasar Seni is basically one of the landmarks in Kuala Lumpur. And what we do is we take you there and tour around and you can learn about like local art and also the food and everything like that. And also for last semester, we had a Port Dickson trip. So Port Dickson is actually one of the cities outside of Kuala Lumpur. So what we did is we took the students there and you had like a fun day at the beach, picnics and stuff like that. So next we have our next club, which is language club. So language club, as it is basically what we do is we teach languages to the mobility students. So we have obviously you coming as a student. So we do have tutors that will teach you Malay language, which is the local language of Malaysia. And then we also open for you guys to be voluntary tutors. So what you guys will do is you guys will teach us and also the other students your language. For example, in this past semester, we had French and Korean and many more languages actually, but this is all that can fit on my slide. So I just chose these three. So we had French, Korean, Malay. We actually also had Mandarin and many more lah. And then for the next club, I think this is one of the most popular clubs that we have. It's actually our sports club. So actually, basically, the sports club, we have weekly activities usually, and we have many different sport activities that is done for the students. So the first one is we have soccer, which we do almost every week. I would say last semester we had these soccer games in and a lot of the male students especially enjoyed it, but we also open it to the female students. We also have basketball games and also badminton games. And the special thing about sports club is at the end, toward the end of the semester, last semester, we had an event called Sports Day. And we will also be having the same event next semester where you guys will compete in teams in various different sport activities against each other and also the buddies. And then you will be able to, I mean, just have fun while being competitive. Am I right? And the next club we have is called Creative Arts. So Creative Arts is basically just like what it sounds. We do activities that involve dancing, music, fine arts, Malaysian art, basically any art out there. So here are some of the activities we had last semester. So one of the most popular ones was we had a dance class, which we did hip hop dance. So we're looking to maybe do something else next semester. I mean, we don't know, right? And then we also have things more related to art itself. We had Chinese fan painting, so where we give them the traditional Chinese fan and we ask them to paint with us, and we also had tutors for that. And we also had a kolam workshop, which is a traditional Indian art form. And what we did is we had a tutor come and explain it to them and learn with them and teach them and whatnot. All right, next we have International Popcorn Night. So this is actually, ladies and gentlemen, one of the more popular clubs in our society. So what we do is we play movies. It's like usually the event is done bi-weekly, so every once in 2 weeks. And what we do is we have movies all around the world being played here. So we'll have English movies, Korean, whatever, based on what you guys vote for. These are the movies that we play. So some of the more popular movies we had in the last semester was we had a Halloween party actually, where everybody came dressed up and we watched horror movies. There was food, drinks, and whatnot. And for actually movie number two, one of our last events of the Global Buddies last semester is we watched a sad movie together, and all of the people there actually cried together. So it's really fun and funny and stuff like that. Yeah. Next, we have another club called Community Engagement. So, if you're interested in like volunteering, engagement programs, outreach to the community to raise awareness or whatnot, then this is the club for you. So, you can join this club and have some activities such as last semester. We had a forest cleanup in University Malaya itself. So, we actually do have a small reserve forest in our university known as Rimba Ilmu. So what we did is we went in with the volunteers and we went and did cleanup and help them do their research and whatnot. And we also visited an orphanage last semester, and the kids really had a fun time with us, just having fun, bonding with them, because obviously what we're trying to do is we're trying to reach to the community and help them. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are interested in joining any of the clubs, you can scan these QR codes and then it will lead you to WhatsApp groups. So, we have one for all the clubs and then we have one directly for Sports Club. Because Sports Club, then we have many activities that are done a lot. So, we have a special community for Sports Club. So, I'm just going to leave it on for like maybe 5 seconds and you can scan it. All right, so if you're interested, then maybe you can rewind the video and find the QR codes later on. So that's all for me today. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you next semester soon. So please join our week of welcome and see you there. All right, bye bye, guys. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Shivan. Hope that was entertaining for you guys. So we are actually at the end of our presentation and our briefing session today. So I think we can still wait a bit more to actually take questions if you want. So I can take questions on Zoom first. So because my colleague Shivan has been responding to questions on our YouTube live stream comment section. So I can maybe take questions on Zoom. If anyone has questions on Zoom, please feel free to unmute and you can ask the question. I can maybe take questions on Zoom. If anyone has questions on Zoom, please feel free to unmute and you can ask the question. All right, so I believe you guys can try to unmute on Zoom now. If you're on YouTube, just give us a minute. We'll come back to you.
Hello everyone, hi Mr.
Yep. So what's your question?
So my question,
If you guys are on YouTube, I muted my mic because it's so people are watching on Zoom as well. So it's actually having double sound. So a student was asking about their dormitories. If you have question about the dormitory, you can feel free to ask us on the through our email. But I'm just taking questions from Zoom. So if a student asks us a question, then I will ask. I'll read out the question for you. So just give me just I'm just waiting for students to ask questions. So anyone else on Zoom wants to ask a question? Yes.
hi. So I actually came from previous semester, the
Okay, so let me come to YouTube to see if there's any questions. No, I do not have a network problem. I just muted because we have the double sound in our Zoom just now. So a student asked if they are in continuing from the previous semester. So we actually have some students who are doing exchange for 2 semesters. So if you're staying here for your second semester, you do not have to do the acceptance of offer letter or creating your SISWA mail, but you must register for your module registration, just like all the new students are doing. So make sure you also are available at the time. If you are not available, then ask a friend. So someone asked, if there's no break between the 2 courses, can you still choose between them? So actually, our courses, even for example, if they are ending from, if let's say it's 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock, the classes will actually end 10 minutes earlier, maybe 11:50, to allow students to go to the next class. So you can actually take classes that if it one's at 12 o'clock and then the next one is 12 to 1, it is possible. But like I said, they give maybe 10 minutes to join. So if one class is at the Faculty of Arts, and then the next class is at the Faculty of Arts, then it's okay. If it's a different faculty, not very recommended because the travel time is actually could take longer. Okay, so let me take a question from Zoom again. Anyone from Zoom? Okay, so basically, guys, our session is over. I will maybe leave the stream on for a few more minutes if anybody else has any questions. So if you have questions, you can stay back and you can ask them personally, or you can send us an email later. But if you don't have any more questions, I want to thank you for joining us today. We will send a recording and an email to recap the information that we have shared today. So don't worry if you came in late or you missed some of the information. We will send you an email with all the important information, and we will also share the recording. The one on YouTube will also be, I will leave it up on YouTube for you to watch. And those who are unable to access YouTube, we will share you a recording that we took from Zoom. So don't worry about that. But if you don't have any more questions, you guys can actually leave the call now, or you can leave the stream now. I will end the stream at 4:25 Malaysian time. So we have 7 minutes. So those on Zoom, you guys, if you don't have any questions, you can leave. Those on YouTube, if you don't have any questions, you can leave. Okay, so someone asked about if module registration starts at 12. It starts at noon, friends. It starts at 12 p.m., not at midnight. Don't worry. But it's 12 afternoon for Malaysia. So it depends what time it is for you in your country. So you have to adjust accordingly. You can not register for your module when you arrive on 26. The module registration starts on the 26 you arrive. Oh, sorry, my bad, my mistake. You can register on the 26th, but I do recommend starting earlier because, as I mentioned, some classes have limited capacities. But if you want to wait till 26, yes, you can. You can definitely do that. The module registration starts on 24th. So next person asks, is the registration process saved automatically even though so if you registered the classes and you stop at step 2.4, yes, your spot is actually in the class. So you're actually taking up some of the spaces. So if you change your mind, please go back and drop the class so someone else can take. Because if you don't drop the class, other people cannot take it, and then you are actually, you don't want the class, but you're making life difficult for other people. So if you don't want, you drop the class. If you're okay with it, then you proceed until step 4. If you don't complete until step 4, even though it has counted your space, after a few weeks, maybe 1 month after the semester, your account will not be active. You cannot access Spectrum. At that point, I cannot help you. You buy a ticket and you go home. So after you do your medical exam, it will take 3 to 5 days for the clinic to send the result to EMGS. And EMGS, what they do is they will verify the result. And so maybe 3 to 5 days for it to become 80%. Once you submit it, it'll take about 3 weeks for your passport to process and you get 100%. on your EMGS. Then you can collect your passport. So that is the process. So someone asked, the module must have M on the module code. No, the module code doesn't have M. It will have occurrence. So for example, you're taking a class CIA 1004. They will have group 1, group 2, group 3. It'll have group 1M. So the class name don't have M, the class group. So a student asked, can I give medical in UM Hospital? No, you cannot do your medical test in UM Hospital. You must do your medical test at a clinic that is approved by by EMGS. We actually already shared it in the guide, but it is also covered in our slides just now, which I will share with you later. So if you're doing your medical checkup, please make sure you go to a clinic that is approved by EMGS. So yes, so if you guys have any other questions, feel free to unmute your mic on Zoom, or you can type it in the comment section. So the latest date for you to arrive in Malaysia. So someone asked me, when is the latest you can arrive? So either lucky or unluckily, some of the classes are online. So the classes start on the 17th of March, but since the classes are online, you actually have some gap if you want to come a bit later. So don't worry about it if your visa is not 70% yet. Just confirm back about it. But the latest, I would say, you should try to come by end of March. If you are not able to, just let us know and we will assist you. So someone asked about shorts to class. If it's above your, I mean, if we can see half your leg, then it's probably not the most appropriate. Smoking doesn't really affect the medical test. It's not part of the thing. But do remember, smoking is not allowed on campus. Someone asked, so the class will be EIG 2004/24/, yes. So it will have the /1M over there. So when it has 1M or 2M, then the class is for mobility students. If there's no M, mobility students cannot go in that group. For girls who have it. Yes, so for girls, if you are on your period, then yes, I recommend you to wait at least until your period stops, so that when you do your medical test, it's it's not uncomfortable for you, because there is a urine test involved. So do wait until you're off your menses before you go and do your medical tests. Okay, let me see if there is any other questions. Okay, so I believe that no other questions. Okay, EMGS recommends it to be 7 days, but if there is any issues, it's better to do your medical test a bit later instead of having your medical test fail. It's recommended for 7 days, but if there's any issues, for example, you're on your period or you had to take any medications, please wait for a few days. If you think, no, I don't want to wait, feel free to do an experiment and let me know how it goes so that I can update my regulation. So if so a student asked, what is the reason for failing medical tests? So failing medical tests, number one, if you have any chronic illness. So if you as a student have any chronic illness, for example, like if you have cancer, then unfortunately they will say you are not fit for studies. But the most common reason for failure is because students actually take some medicine or they took some drugs. So if you take medicine, for example, you take paracetamol, when they do their test, urine test, it actually, when they do the test, it will show that you take heroin. I know you didn't take heroin. You know you didn't take heroin, but the doctor doesn't know. EMGS doesn't know you didn't take heroin. So that's why I say avoid the medication. But if you have taken some medication, please wait a few days before you proceed with your medical tests. So someone asked, will there be an event organized like going to one of the islands of Malaysia? So normally our events that we do, our programs for field trips are not too far away. So if you want to go to any islands nearby, you can ask your student buddies for recommendation and they can actually help you out. Okay, so it's 4:25 here right now. And I believe we have covered as many of the questions as possible. So like I mentioned, we will be sharing the recording and the slides from today so you guys can go back and review. If there's a lot of things for the visa process, so please make sure you pay attention, go back and watch again if you can't remember, and make sure you are clear about it before you come to Malaysia. If you have any other questions, please feel free to email us. Okay. Smoking is forbidden in UM. Yes, you cannot smoke on campus, Brother Chicken. Let's see what else. Yes, yes, that is our email account. Okay, so if nobody else has any other questions that I have not answered 10 times already, thank you again very much for joining our pre-arrival briefing. I would like to apologize for all the technical troubles we have. Sorry, someone said, can you unmute Zoom? Zoom is unmuted. You can unmute yourself to ask, but I'm ending the call right now. Cafeterias, oh yes, important questions. Cafeterias will be open during Ramadan. You can actually go to some cafeterias, although some might be closed, but every faculty and every residential college will have a cafeteria open for you to get food. So other than that, I think I'm done taking questions. So if you have any questions that are minor things like, oh, is the cafeteria open? Where can I get the food? Please ask your buddies. If it's something more major, like something related to your class registration, then please ask us. If you ask the student buddies, they cannot help you with class registration. It's something I can help you with. So thank you for joining us today. I do apologize again for all the trouble we had with the technical difficulties. It is something that we are improving for the future because sometimes we have too many students to join on Zoom. So we have to do YouTube and Zoom at the same time. But that's the trouble here. We will continuously improve ourselves. But I thank you again for coming and hope everyone has a great day. And be seeing you guys soon. Bye-bye.